How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about GGPI. I know what you're saying, Dre, why are you so excited? The stock has pulled back. It closed at $10.26. Well, you know what? I have high conviction in this play, and I see this dip as a buying opportunity. If you don't see it as the same way, then you need to start looking and saying, well, you know what? This may not be the right stock for me. I got to look at other options. But for myself, I am bullish. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for GGPI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $10.26, being down 3.75%. On the low, it tested $10.23, and then on the high, testing $10.69. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 4.017 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 3.378 million shares. So we did have above average volume on the day, but you can see we dealt with a good amount of selling. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 33.93. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So you can see so far we are on a bearish trend. And as far as for the low of the day, testing at $10.23, if we continue to see weakness inside of the market, we can literally get down to the floor where we have the SPAC price of $10. Keep in mind, the stock can still go below this $10 area, so that's just one thing you're going to want to be aware of. But in regards to the price action and looking forward to seeing a reversal, you're going to want to see some price strength above $10.70. We ended up seeing a high of $10.69, so for things to really start picking up, it would need to reclaim the 21-day EMA right at $11.08, and we know we do have a psychological area here right at 11. There would be a good amount of selling. So this is why it's very important when I talk about using a dollar cost averaging approach. Remember, when I started adding to my position, it was when it was going below $11. So now that I've seen it pull back a little more, I'm going to add a bit more to my position, and I'm going to look for this stock to actually go down to 10. And if it happens, that's where I think I'll just kind of slow down and see where this stock goes from there. But for the most part, things are looking bearish. Tech is getting hit. Let's see what the stock does going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for GGPI. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to take a look at the filings for January 25th and as well as the 24th. I'm pretty sure we've already covered the others. So we see Belvedere Trading LLC that purchased 43,370 shares. We also have Signature Fed LLC, sorry for butchering that, with 1,031 shares. And then we see National Bank of Canada that went in with 100 shares on the 24th. When we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 26.55%, and the dark pool short volume is at 413,382 shares. Scrolling down on the page further, the short shares availability is at 850,000, updated 16 minutes ago. And then for the short buying rate, it is at 2.15%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 25th, it was at 29.87. And then for the close of the 26th, which was yesterday, being at 26.55. So one thing that remains clear, GGPI does have short squeeze potential. The criteria that we normally look for is 21% or higher. But this also does tell us if we have more momentum coming into the sector, especially for tech and as well as EV plays, this is where we can look forward to seeing a green day. And from what I was seeing inside of the after hours due to Apple's earnings and Tesla making a move up, it looks like GGPI should be seeing some sympathy going into tomorrow. But again, it's all predicated on the market conditions, especially for tech. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution.
Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for GGPI. So we see here on the inflow, it's at 6.36, and then on the outflow, it's at 7.56. So it ended up being an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, you can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 4.44. And then for the small, it was 1.92. Taking a look at the outflow side, we can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 5.63. And then on the small, it was 1.93. Keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for January the 27th and as well as the 26th, it was 0. But when we take a look at the 24th and the 25th, these were outflows. Now, when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying, but it was still fairly close, being at 1.92 million versus 1.93 million. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium though, this is where we had more selling than we had buying, and there was a clear difference with 4.44 million versus 5.63 million. And for the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, it was 0. So that is good to see. And then when we take a look now at the turnover ratio, it was at 4.08%. So yes, this is up there, but one thing that is very clear, we saw a lot of selling pressure that was happening inside of the market. We seen tech pulling back. And plus on top of that, it is affiliated to the EV sector. We saw what happened to Tesla and what happened to other stocks as well. So this is why we have to take this into consideration. And as far as this dip, I'm excited about it. I see it as an opportunity. And I'm also going to be giving you guys a business update inside of the final thoughts. So let's actually get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for GGPI, before we get started, I wanted to give you guys some quick business updates if you haven't heard about it already. I got it down on my notepad. Let's get into it quick. So the first one is, so their global sales target of 29,000 vehicles has been achieved for year 2021. That's a big plus. Also, when we take into consideration the business combination, it is expected to be done in the first half of 2022. This is a date that we're going to keep a close eye on because we're going to be looking forward to seeing that rally. Next, they have been able to go from 10 markets to being into 19 markets globally. And for the final update, they have 4,000 reservation orders for the Polestar 2 in South Korea in the first week. So what does this tell us? There's a lot of demand in the market for Polestar vehicles. So this is why you want to continue to keep a close eye on this play. Do your homework, do your due diligence. For what I'm seeing from the company, I'm liking it. And this is why I'm even more confident to hold this stock. Even though the company's doing well on the operational side, you shouldn't pay too much attention to what happens with the stock price. It will catch up over time, and like I said, we're dealing with a lot of volatility inside of these markets. And in regards to the price action, of course, we're looking to have a return on our investment. I did say this was a SPAC, so the floor is at $10. So what does this mean? Yes, the stock can go below $10, but you are entitled to your $10 a share. So knowing that it's pulling back, if it gets down to $10 right on the dot, then I'm going to be looking to add even more to my position, and I might chill out from there. Unless I see it going down into the mid 9s and so forth, I'll add, but I think I'm just going to chill out once I see it go down to the $10 area, which is as close to $10 to be exact. So I'm talking about $10.05 or even $10 right on the dot. As far as what we want to see in regards to a bullish reversal in the short term, then you want to see this stock get above the $11 area. We know that's going to be a psychological area. Any traders that are inside this play are probably going to be selling out of their positions then. So that is just one thing to be aware of, and this is why we're going to have continued volatility. But keep an eye on the overall EV sector. Keep an eye on the tech sector. GGPI will benefit from this because one thing we do know, the company looks like they are doing very well. Also, when we went on Fintel taking a look at the short interest information, it does have short squeeze potential, but the short volume ratio is not too high. So what does this tell us? Yes, it has one of the best market sentiment out there right now. So there's a lot of people who are bullish about this play. Yes, we do have some shorts, but I feel they're just beating this stock down and taking whatever profits they can again, due to the fact we do have low volume and we have the volatility inside of the markets. And I don't mind that because that gives me the opportunity to load up on a play that I have high conviction in, and I can't wait to see what it does, especially leading up to that business combination. I want that rally. I'm going to be looking to sell my position. I want to make sure I'm being open about that, and then seeing where the stock price goes. Then after, I'll be looking to add some more shares, so as far as for the long term. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.